A queen and her secret. She ruled the largest empire in the world, the Queen of England, Empress of India, and the matriarch of a dynasty that reached every corner of Europe. But inside Queen Victoria's veins flowed more than royal blood. It carried a deadly secret, a mutation, a silent curse, hemophilia, a disease that made bleeding unstoppable and accidents fatal. One scratch, one fall, one bruise, and death could follow. She never knew she carried it. She never meant to spread it, but spread it she did. Her children married into Europe's grandest houses. From palace to palace, her deadly gene traveled with them, infecting the future with pain, deformity, death, and downfall. This is the true story of how one queen's blood changed the course of royal history. Blood that would not clot. Hemophilia, known for centuries as the royal disease, a genetic mutation where the body lacks clotting factors. Normally, when you bleed, proteins help your blood form a plug. But in hemophiliacs, that plug never forms. Blood flows on and on. It is passed down through the X chromosome. Women are usually carriers. Men suffer the symptoms. In the 19th century, hemophilia was a death sentence. There were no blood transfusions, no synthetic clotting factors. It's prayer, isolation, and dread. Victoria's family expands. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had 9 children. They became kings, queens, consorts, and empresses, her daughters. Alice, Beatrice, Helena, and Victoria married into the ruling families of Russia, Spain, Prussia, and Hesse. They were seen as diplomatic tools, living alliances, but each carried Victoria's genetic secret inside them. They bore children who bled, princes who never reached adulthood, heirs who died before they could rule. A web of power and pain stretched across the continent. The grandmother of Europe had become the source of its suffering. Prince Leopold, the first sacrifice. Victoria's 8th child, Prince Leopold was the first male in her line to show symptoms. He was smart, sensitive, and beloved. But from childhood, he suffered severe bleeding episodes. Every bump or scrape left him bedridden, lived in constant fear. His family lived in constant vigilance. Leopold married late in life. He hoped to pass on a royal name. Instead, he passed on a dangerous gene. In 1884, he slipped and fell in Cannes, hit his head, and began to bleed internally. He died days later at just 30 years old. His daughter, Alice of Albany, was a carrier. Through her, the disease would live on in the Spanish royal family. The Romanov Tragedy. Perhaps the most infamous victim of Victoria's gene was Tsarevich Alexei, heir to the Russian throne. His mother, Empress Alexandra, was Victoria's granddaughter. She carried the gene. Alexei inherited it. From birth, he bled. A bruise could cripple him. A nosebleed could kill him. The court whispered. Ministers panicked. The royal family hid his illness from the public. In desperation, Alexandra turned to Grigory Rasputin, a Siberian mystic who claimed to heal Alexei through prayer and hypnosis. Whether Rasputin truly helped is debated, but his influence grew, enraging nobles and alienating the people. Rasputin's presence destabilized the monarchy. His assassination in 1916 came too late. When the Russian Revolution exploded, the Romanovs were overthrown. In July 1918, Alexei and his family were executed in a basement in Yekaterinburg. The bleeding prince's death marked the bloody end of a royal line. The Spanish cost. Queen Victoria's youngest daughter, Beatrice, also carried the gene. Her son, Prince Leopold of Battenberg, passed it to his son, Infante Gonzalo of Spain. Gonzalo was bright, athletic, full of promise. But like Alexei, He had hemophilia. In 1934, while traveling in Austria, Gonzalo was in a minor car accident. His injuries were superficial, but the internal bleeding wouldn't stop. He died days later at just 19. The Spanish royal family was shattered. Succession weakened. Another royal house left bleeding. Germany and Prussia. Other daughters of Victoria married into German and Prussian dynasties. Their children suffered in silence. The disease was kept hidden from public view. Medical records were destroyed. Marriages were arranged without genetic knowledge. Boys died in childhood. Girls married, unaware they were carriers. The stigma was profound. Weakness was not tolerated in a prince. The science of the mutation. Scientists now believe Queen Victoria's hemophilia gene came from a spontaneous mutation. Her father, Edward, Duke of Kent, was 51 at the time of her conception. Advanced paternal age increases mutation risk. It is likely Victoria was the first in her family to carry it, a 1 in a million accident, but one that would echo through history. Fallen thrones. The British crown survived, just barely. Victoria's son, Edward VII, did not inherit the gene, but other monarchies fell. Russia lost its empire. Spain faced instability and exile. Germany and Prussia collapsed in World War I, though not the sole cause. The hemophilia curse contributed to royal decline. It symbolized fragility, failure, and fatalism. Victoria meant to unify Europe through blood. Instead, her bloodline fractured it. The crown that bled. Queen Victoria remains a towering figure. Her reign defined an age. Her image remains iconic. But within her family line flowed more than majesty. It carried misery, a gene that changed history, a curse that toppled dynasties, a legacy that bled from palace to grave. She ruled the world, but her blood ruled the future. Queen Victoria's gene killed princes, doomed queens, and helped bring down empires. One woman, one mutation, and the most dangerous royal blood in history. Subscribe for more dark royal history. Like and share if you believe truth is stranger than fiction. Comment below. Do you think Victoria's gene was fate or the first royal scandal of modern science?